Gary, good afternoon. Well, I suppose, you know, there's nothing company-specific about today. There's just an overall general feel of optimism and venturing into riskier assets because of the U.S. election. Have I got that right, at least?
I think you do, yeah. So we came in, we've seen the currency, you know, strengthening significantly over the last couple of days, and it's been quite clear that the relationship has been between who looks like they were going to win the election. As soon as we had Trump doing well in Florida, we immediately saw the currency weaken out to about 16.40, and as more and more states declared for Biden and for the Democrats, the currency steadily strengthened. So there was a very clear correlation between a Biden presidency and a stronger currency. The market's also expecting, you know, with the Democrats in power, to get a bigger fiscal stimulus package, so around $2.2 trillion, and that's very optimistic. And then, of course, just towards the end of the day, we had news out of Pfizer that they have a vaccine for, or they have a very promising vaccine, at least for the COVID-19 pandemic, with an effectiveness rate of around 90% in the trials that they're currently doing, which is significantly higher than the 60 to 70% that everyone was expecting. And with that, markets have just gone absolutely berserk, overseas and locally. We caught the tail end of the international session, but we've got everything from the likes of Disney, who has a big, obviously, parks business, and you know is very reliant on you know, actual the hotel business, to things like Royal Caribbean Cruises, which are the cruise liners that have obviously been ineffective. Disney up over 12%. We've had Royal Caribbean stock up 32% at one point, and we've got the likes of Pfizer up 14%. It's up about 8% in dollars at the moment. So just the world very optimistic. We have a new president in the United States, likely, if Trump eventually concedes defeat. And we have a potential solution in 2021 around the coronavirus. And markets are just, it's absolutely incredible.
You see that optimism also coming out in the Sasol share price. Now, Sasol, going into double digits of gains, of course not making up for the losses they've had over the last few years, but it does tell us something about how the oil price is connected to the share, doesn't it?
No, absolutely. So we saw, you know, as soon as kind of the announcement around the vaccine was released, we immediately saw the oil price ticking up aggressively. And this is just on the back of you know, the idea that you know, once we have a vaccine and people can once again go about their normal lives. I mean, we've got most of Europe in lockdown thanks to the second wave. So as soon as we can get back to normal and everyone can start flying again and moving around as normal, of course, we're going to use a lot more oil, and life is going to return to normal. So if you look at the latest OPEC report out 31st of October, you can see that OPEC certainly wasn't expecting global demand to approach anywhere near pre-coronavirus levels, you know, well into the end of 2021. The idea that we might have a viable vaccine changes that equation totally. And with that, we've seen Brent crude oil prices trading well above $43 a barrel, and Sasol, I mean, which has been very volatile of late, just because of I suppose all the news around the Lake Charles project and them selling off a portion of that. The stock up over 20% today, so unbelievable recovery in that share price as well.
I've got a couple of seconds here. I mean, I hate to pose these questions to market analysts, but I mean, we would want to believe that the rand is in a new normal, but of course, with a volatile currency like this, below 15 rand 30 cents today, where do you think this rand is heading for the rest of the year and into next year?
It's a very good question. So if you look at the big international banks, there's 27 of them that publish estimates. So estimates on where the 12-month forecast for currency at the moment range from about 19 rand 80 to the dollar, all the way down to the most bullish bank is actually Goldman Sachs, sitting at about 15.30. Today we broke below that. We were at 15.20 at one point. So my feeling is that, you know, with all the optimism, you know, we've had a big rush into emerging markets, and the rand is seen as a proxy for emerging markets. We've also had bond inflows in South Africa, and really it's just been an enormous amount of enthusiasm, and whenever you get that kind of enthusiasm, you always see a currency like the rand picking up. I would probably be quite cautious at these levels, given where the estimates are. I would say we're probably going to trend back towards around 16 rand to the dollar over the next little while.
All right, Gary Booysen from Rand Swiss, thanks very much indeed for those insights.